Hello there, very good evening and welcome to the news at 6 here on Sabha TV. Thanks for joining us this Saturday evening. I'm Tracy Shilshi and here are the headlines. The President and the Prime Minister greet the Indian Air Force as it celebrates its 84th anniversary. Multi-role light fighter aircraft Tejas makes its first public appearance at the Hinton Air Show. Home Minister Rajnath Singh visits border outposts in Barmer district of Rajasthan, undertakes security review with Minister of State for Home Affairs Kiran Rijiju and BSF officials. Curfew continues in Srinagar in Kashmir, in fact, after an injured teenager dies in Srinagar, while in Shopian, a policeman is killed and a constable and civilian are injured in firing by Pakistani terrorists. And ahead of the second presidential debate in the US, Republican Donald Trump in trouble over a lewd videotape from 2005. Trump tries to deflect impact with an apology and an attack on former President Bill Clinton. But first this evening, the situation in Kashmir continues to remain tense on Saturday following the death of a minor boy in clashes between protesters and security forces in Srinagar. Protests and clashes were also reported in some areas in northern districts of Bandipur and Baramulla. Meanwhile, Pakistani troops once again violated ceasefire by firing on the military in Jammu and Kashmir's Poonch district.
The unrest in Kashmir claimed its 84th victim on Saturday, with the death of a teenager who was injured in the Safakadal area of Srinagar on Friday night. The victim was reportedly hit by pellet guns in the head and chest. Earlier, Pakistani troops violated the ceasefire by firing along the line of control in Poonch district, leaving an army jawan injured. On Friday night, a policeman was killed while a constable and a civilian were injured after terrorists fired at a security post in Shopian district.
Overall, what would suffice to say is that we should remain confident about the capability of our forces. We are proud of our forces. We are safe because the Indian Army and the Indian paramilitary forces are keeping a constant vigil on the borders and also on the enemy within.
Curfew was imposed in 7 police station areas including Khanyar, Ranwari, Nohata, Safakadal, Maharajganj, Maisuma and Batmalu. Strict restrictions on assembly of people also remained in force in the rest of the valley to maintain law and order. Meanwhile, shutdown continued for the 92nd day, affecting normal life of local residents. Shops, business establishments and educational institutions remained shut, while public transport remained off the roads. Separatist leaders including Sayyid Ali Gilani, Mir Rez Omar Farooq, Yasin Malik and Shabir Shah are either under house arrest or in custody. The state is on high alert after the surgical strikes by India and Pakistan occupied Kashmir. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV.
Meanwhile, Union Minister Rajnath Singh visited Barmer district in Rajasthan to assess the security arrangements on the border areas of Barmer district. In fact, Rajnath Singh arrived from Jaisalmer along with the Minister of State for Home Affairs Kiran Rijiju and BSF officials. He spoke to senior BSF officials at the Munabao outpost of BSF in Barmer and also addressed a Sainik Sammelan. The Home Minister held on Friday a meeting in Jaisalmer with the Home Ministers and senior officials of 4 states that border Pakistan.
सीमा सुरक्षा की स्थिति का जायजा लिया है, लेकिन मुझे खुशी है कि हमारे जवान पूरी मुस्तैदी से अपनी जिम्मेदारी का निर्वाह करते हैं। जैसे किसान अपनी पूरी जान लगाकर अपने खेत की रखवाली करता है, वैसे ही हमारा जवान अपनी जान लगाकर देश की रखवाली कर रहा है। देखने के बाद इसी नतीजे पर पहुंचा हूं।
In other news now, the Election Commission has said that no political party will be allowed to use public funds and government machinery to carry out activities that amount to its advertisement. The directive came after the Delhi High Court asked the poll panel to issue norms for restraining political parties from using public money to propagate their poll symbol. The Commission also clarified that any violation of the directions will be treated as violation of a lawful direction of the Commission. A plea in the Delhi High Court in July had sought cancellation of BSP's elephant symbol for alleged misuse of public funds by the erstwhile Mayawati government in UP. in installing in fact statues across the state.
ये जो जनता का पैसा है वो अपने प्रचार और प्रसार के लिए इस्तेमाल करते हैं, ये निंदनीय है। और मैं समझता हूं चुनाव आयोग जहां जहां जिन प्रांतों में जो सरकारें हैं और केंद्र में जो भारतीय जनता पार्टी की सरकार है, इन लोगों पर रोक लगाएगी कि ये जनता का पैसा इस तरह से दुरुपयोग न करें।
I think it is the responsibility of Election Commission to provide level playing field to all the political parties which are in power or which are out of power. And those parties which are in power should not try to use government funds to promote their election symbol or their own election materials or agenda. I think the Election Commission has made a right observation on this issue and it should be welcomed.
इलेक्शन कमीशन को जो चुनावों के जो पूर्व जो सरकारी पैसे खर्चे किए जाते हैं और करोड़ों करोड़ रुपए जो पानी की तरह बहाए जाते हैं, ये सिर्फ आचार संहिता लागू कराने के बाद ही उस पर अंकुश नहीं लगना चाहिए, बल्कि उसका माहौल 6 महीना पहले से बन जाता है, कम से कम 6 महीना पहले से। तो उन सारी चीजों पर भी नजर रखनी चाहिए, उस खर्चे पर भी।
With a quick break here, but up next we're going to get to you all the details from the Indian Air Force Day celebrations that took place today. Background music.
Hello and welcome. I'm Amritanshu Rai. You're watching Constitutionally Yours.
इस तरह का वातावरण बनाना पड़ेगा कि महिलाएं भी स्वयं आगे आए।
एमपी एमएलएस की चिंता है कि शिक्षा डेमोक्रेसी में धीरे धीरे आए या तेजी से आए।
क्यों नहीं हिंदुस्तान में कॉमन सिविल कोड लागू की जाए?
ये नहीं हो सकता कि सारी के सारी पॉपुलेशन एक सरीकी एक कल्चर में ढल जाए।
Join us as we try to understand contemporary issues related to the Constitution. Watch Constitutionally Yours on Rajya Sabha television.
Hemkund Sahib, sacred shrine of the Sikhs, widely acclaimed for being the highest in the world, located in the Himalayas at an altitude of 15,200 feet. The Gurudwara is designed with an image of an upside-down lotus flower.
Plant called vetiver. It's an aromatic medicinal plant, but happens to be also very efficient carbon sequester. Although it is like a grass, it has very large root system. We can have a vetiver plantation throughout the country, even within national capital region, so that we can significantly reduce the atmospheric CO2.
Watch Eureka with Dr. Prashant Goswami, Director, CSIR Nistads, only on Rajya Sabha television.
Welcome back. The Indian Air Force celebrated its 84th anniversary at the Hindon Air Base in Ghaziabad with a large parade and a spectacular air show on Saturday. Air Chief Marshal Arup Rahat took the opportunity to say that the Air Force was ready to take up any challenge and that India's security forces believe in action rather than just talk. In fact, Arup Saha also gave out several medals, in fact, to the recognized Air Force personnel, the Vayu Sena medals and the Vashisht Sena medals as well. In fact, The Prime Minister and the President both were present at the occasion, and as we also saw, the lightweight, the Tejas aircraft was also unveiled at the Hindon Air Base, which was of course one of the highlights really of this particular air show that we saw at the Hindon Air Base. The Prime Minister of course tweeting as well, also congratulating the Indian Air Force and its personnel, saluting all the air warriors and their families on the occasion. Here's a detailed report.
The 84th Air Force Day was celebrated with a show of strength at Ghaziabad's Hindon Air Base on Saturday. Apart from the spectacular air show, there was also assertion that the Indian Armed Forces were prepared for any enemy challenge.
Wonderful diamond formation.
I think the armed forces are well prepared to take on any sub-conventional threat. We have had one or two cases, and a determined terrorist can always get the better of people, but aim is to prevent it. The deterrence. We should be able to detect any such intrusion, any such attack right in the beginning, and so that we can neutralize them before they can actually cause any damage to armed forces property, armed forces people, or our own people as such, the whole nation. So that way I think we are getting smarter and smarter. We are learning lessons every time something happens, and I think we are very well prepared now to face any such contingency.
The IAF chief also talked about various courses that are being conducted for personnel. That includes increased security training, consciousness, physical fitness and combat efficiency of air warriors to handle situations more efficiently. He also acknowledged that the acquisition of Rafale jets could enhance operational capability of the force.
Acquisition of 36 Rafale aircraft in next few years, an early decision on indigenous Make in India fighter aircraft project would greatly enhance our operational capability in the near term.
A spectacular show of Indian Air Force prowess was on display. The air display commenced with flag-bearing skydivers of the famous Akash Ganga team dropping out of AN-32 aircraft in their colorful canopies. The flypast included vintage aircraft, modern transport aircraft and frontline fighter aircraft. An aerobatic display by a team of helicopters Sarang was one of the highlights. On the 84th Foundation Day, the LCA Tejas developed by Hindustan Aeronautics Limited was also introduced. President Pranab Mukherjee and Prime Minister Narendra Modi applauded the Air Force for its bravery and also thanked them for protecting the nation. The Air Force Day is celebrated to commemorate the day the force was officially established in 1932. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV.
And now let's take you through some more national news updates in Nationwide. The National Investigative Agency picked up 4 persons suspected to have links to the Islamic State and interrogated them about their alleged association with another suspect arrested from Kannur in Kerala. Police said that the suspected persons were picked up by the NIA on late Friday night after their names were found on the contact list of Abu Bashir, one of the 6 arrested from Kannur. All of them were later let off. 23 years after policemen in Amritsar tattooed the words pickpocket on the foreheads of 4 women, a special CBI court has sentenced 3 cops in the case. Special CBI Judge Baljinder Singh sentenced 3 years rigorous imprisonment to Superintendent of Police Sukhdev Singh China and Sub-Inspector Narendra Singh Mali, who was then the SHO of Rambagh Police Station. The court also sentenced 1 year rigorous imprisonment to Assistant Sub-Inspector Kamaljit Singh. The Telangana government has cancelled the chaera holidays for revenue, general administration, transport, municipal administration and home departments to prepare for the launch of the new districts on 11th of October. The staff in these departments have been asked to work on festival days and to avail compensatory leave at a later date. This decision was taken by the state cabinet. On to international news now, and the death toll from Hurricane Matthew has reached 900 in Haiti. The poorest country in the Americas was still only recovering from the devastating earthquake of 2010 when Matthew came and flattened a large part of it. As Haiti comes to terms with the destruction, the storm has also rekindled the debate about global warming and the long-term threat posed by rising sea levels to low-lying cities and towns.
Devastation everywhere you look. The death toll at 900 and counting, areas completely cut off and crops wiped out. Some 61,500 people are forced to live in shelters after their houses were flattened by Hurricane Matthew. The number of deaths in Haiti, the poorest country in the Americas, is only likely to rise further as information trickles in from remote areas that were previously cut off by the storm.
Many folks who were in danger areas, to the extent possible, we had encouraged people to leave areas that we consider to be dangerous. And in many cases, actually, folks were actually moved by force so that we limit the number of casualties. As of this afternoon, there were about 60,000 plus people in shelters. A number of homes have been destroyed. Again, there's a count taking place as we speak, and damages home, I think that's where there's been most issues happening.
On Tuesday, Matthew smashed through Haiti's western peninsula, bringing with it winds with speeds of 233 kilometers per hour and torrential rain. Entire neighborhoods were leveled by the ferocious hurricane. Residents were seen digging into the rubble, looking for any sign of life and trying to salvage whatever was left of their homes.
The storm was very bad. As you could see, it took away everything. My house is destroyed, everything gone. So, as you could see, we're waiting for help. So we'll be happy the international help could consider. There's nothing left.
International aid has been slow to reach Haiti as mobile networks are down and roads are flooded. As a result, food and water is scarce and the threat of an epidemic is large. At least 7 people have died of cholera.
Cholera was an issue that Haiti was dealing with, has been dealing with in the past few years. So in light of what just took place over the past few days, yes, cholera and other health issues might be on the rise. Again, a number of measures were discussed and taken to ensure that the numbers remain low. But at this particular moment, we know that the government has deployed a number of healthcare workers, doctors, and also in partnership with healthcare NGOs.
The acute food shortage has been made worse by damage to cropland. Some accounts put crop damage at as much as 95% of cropland.
Di bœuf, nous perdi jardin net, tout jardin perdu. Pas gagné nous rete, kay tête kay volé la lait, kay tomber, kay crasé.
From Haiti, Hurricane Matthew moved to the US and the Bahamas, where the damage was lessened as it had downgraded to a Category 2 storm by then. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV.
And now to a political storm in the US, where the center of attention is again Donald Trump. During a 90-second videotaped appearance, the Republican presidential nominee apologized for a decade-old audio tape in which he made vulgar remarks about women. But his real message was that of defiance, saying that his remarks were nothing compared with the way Bill and Hillary Clinton had mistreated women. Here's more.
Preparations are complete at the U.S. presidential debate venue in St. Louis in Missouri on Sunday. But ahead of their second face-off, both Republican presidential candidate Donald Trump and Democrat Hillary Clinton were hit by potentially damaging leaks. Republicans are grappling with an indecent audio tape from 2005 that featured party candidate Donald Trump. Trump sought to minimize the damage with an apology ahead of the debate.
I've never said I'm a perfect person, nor pretended to be someone that I'm not. I've said and done things I regret, and the words released today on this more than a decade-old video are one of them. Anyone who knows me knows these words don't reflect who I am. I said it, I was wrong, and I apologize. I've traveled the country talking about change for America, but my travels have also changed me.
The Washington Post had published the report that had Trump using sexist and demeaning language against women. Trump, however, claimed the tape was nothing but a distraction.
This is nothing more than a distraction from the important issues we're facing today. We are losing our jobs, we're less safe than we were 8 years ago, and Washington is totally broken. Hillary Clinton and her kind have run our country into the ground.
On the other hand, WikiLeaks published an email from Hillary Clinton's advisors that seemed to contain excerpts of paid speeches to corporations. The party has refused to release transcripts of the conversations, but the Democrats say that Trump has to answer for far more than they need to.
It makes me sick to my stomach. I don't like to even say the words that he's used in the past when he calls women pigs, dogs, and slobs. I didn't like saying it on stage the other night with my mom and my wife sitting in the front row.
Mr. Trump accused me of playing the, quote, woman card. Well, if fighting for women's health care and paid family leave and equal pay is playing the woman card, then deal me in.
The US government earlier formally accused Russia of hacking Democratic Party organizations ahead of the election. But the speech excerpts could give Trump new fodder for attacking Clinton. News agencies reported that Clinton is heard voicing support for open trade and borders and discusses taking different positions in public than in private. Sunday's debate will be a town hall-style event. It is seen to be critical to Trump, who is struggling to rebound from a slump in some opinion polls after a rocky performance in the first debate. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV.
And now let's take you through some more international news updates in Global Buzz. Male and female suicide bombers blew themselves up near the Turkish capital Ankara. Both were suspected of planning to carry out a car bomb attack and detonated the devices after they were asked to surrender their weapons. They are suspected of having ties with the Kurdistan Workers' Party. Bangladesh security forces killed at least 11 suspected militants in 3 separate raids in an ongoing crackdown against Islamic extremism. The victims are believed to be members of the Jamaat al-Mujahideen and are blamed for an attack on a cafe in Dhaka in July this year, in which 22 people were killed. US President Barack Obama said on Friday that he was lifting sanctions on Myanmar by terminating an emergency order. The order deemed the policies of the former military government a threat to US national security. Obama issued the executive order weeks after meeting Myanmar's de facto leader Aung San Suu Kyi. Myanmar's access to trade benefits for poorer nations was suspended, in fact, in 1989 over human rights abuses. The US allowed career-long religious accommodation for the Sikh community serving in the armed forces while maintaining their articles of faith like the turban and beard. As of now, Sikhs and others must be granted an accommodation or permission to serve in the US Army while maintaining their articles of faith. Polls opened in Georgia on Saturday in a parliamentary election seen as a test of the stability of the ex-Soviet state, crisscrossed by strategically important oil and gas pipelines. Polls suggest the ruling Georgian Dream Party, funded by the country's richest man, billionaire Bidzina Ivanishvili, is likely to win, but that they also show strong support for the opposition United National Movement and that many voters are undecided. All right, now some cricket news, and Virat Kohli made a spectacular return to form with a century on the tricky Indore pitch to take India to a comfortable 267 for 3 against New Zealand on the first day of the third test. The Indian skipper had gone without a 50-plus score in his last 7 innings across 5 tests. This was his 13th test century and also the first by any batsman from either side in the series. Kohli was complimented brilliantly by Ajinkya Rahane, who settled down well after a scratchy start. He ended the day unbeaten at 79. The duo added 167 runs for the 4th wicket after New Zealand had given India initial jitters, taking 3 wickets for just 100 runs. In fact, Kohli's 100 came off 184 balls, while Rahane's 79 came in 172 balls. Earlier, comeback man Gautam Gambhir made a good start before getting out at 29. Murli Vijay was dismissed for 10, while Cheteshwar Pujara scored 41.
Into the second tier for 6. Greeting Jeetan Patel.
And here are more updates from the world of sports in Sports Beat. Indian shuttlers Rutvika Shivani Gadde and Cyril Varma have reached the finals of the women's and men's singles events respectively at the Russian Open Grand Prix. 4th-seeded Rutvika stunned local favourite and 2nd-seeded Ksenia Polikarpova 22-20, 21-13 in the semi-finals. In the men's singles, Cyril Varma also defeated a Russian, Anatoly Yartsev, in 32 minutes to book his place in the finals. The mixed doubles pair of N. Sikki Reddy and Pranav Jerry Chopra are also in the final. With diplomatic tensions between India and Pakistan at a high, the Pakistan Hockey Federation has sought clearance from its government to send its team for the FIH Junior World Cup to be held in Lucknow this December. The team will travel to India only if it gets a green signal from the government. Olympic sports leaders are debating how to improve a global anti-doping system amid the fallout of a Russian state-backed cheating scandal. The closed-doors meeting is being chaired by IOC President Thomas Bach. They also are discussing the role of the World Anti-Doping Agency, which had caused a furor after calling for Russia to be banned from the recently concluded Rio Games. Nico Rosberg stormed to pole position at the Japanese Grand Prix for a 3rd successive year on Saturday, piling on pressure on world champion Lewis Hamilton. The German has a 23-point lead over Hamilton in the Drivers' Championship with 5 races to go. Hamilton will start 2nd, while Ferrari's Kimi Raikkonen will start 3rd. That's all we have for you on the news at 6. Have a good evening.